record. Recording is started. Don't say anything heinous for another 10 seconds.
Heinous.
He said heinous, YouTube, not anus. He did not say anus. He would never say that. That would be wrong.
Heinous stands for hairy penis, perhaps?
Yep, demonetized. Here we go.
Well, we got to keep the bar where it needs to be, Toby.
Crocodile, why are you still on this fucking token?
I don't know. Like, it seems to default to that on this page.
Stupid fucking Muppet. Muppet who caught his wife cheating on him is what the face looks like.
I think it's appropriate.
Yeah. He looks traumatized.
All right. So, first order of business, you guys wanted to talk about Mage's Private Sanctum.
Yes.
I was reading about that. That basically just means no scrying. It doesn't, or does it? Is there a thing I didn't see where it says we could be used as a target for teleporting?
We were talking about the fact that it would protect, the mages go around town looking for teleportation and other magic. It would protect us from that.
That makes more sense. Yeah.
They have a spell called, let's see, what is it called? Trace Teleport. Let me see here. Let's see, who has it? Oh, yeah.
Traceroute.exe.
Kinda. You're not, that's not completely off the wall. Olbern, make me anybody make me a spellcraft check. 24, pretty good.
Ooh, new menu bar.
Oh, from the token HUD?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, mine's new.
I've prevented token HUD from updating for a while because every time it updated, it fucked us. And I did some testing, and I finally let it update.
And it's now no longer running opposite. I can actually have it back up at the top.
Yeah, same.
You should be able to change that stuff, yeah. It should be more configurable than it was. Okay. So, Trace Teleport is a spell Olbrin has heard of. He doesn't have it, but he's heard about it. Namkath hasn't quite heard about it. Croctaw's like, the fuck you talking about? The spell lets you know of any teleport effects that begin or end within the spell's area. It lasts a minute per level, so you like cast it and move around. There is this spell, and Connor warned you that the Technic League likes to use this spell or a technically specific variant of it to track people who teleport. So you teleport out of a street fight, they go to the site, cast this, and they know where you went. Basically track your hyperspace destination and teleport to it or come find you. Now, if you teleport into or out of a mage private sanctum, it also blocks trace teleport. They could pass right over your secret lair with trace teleport and not know that a teleport into or out of that place happened. And of course, mage's private sanctum will block. I will have mage's private sanctum basically block just about any information spell focused on the area of the mage's private sanctum and anyone who is presently within it. So as long as you're in it, all their searches for you. They can cast locate creature. They can know everything there is to know about, they know Luna a little bit. She's a known person, at least her official identity is. And they could cast locate creature 20 times a day, and if she's in the sanctum, it comes up with nothing.
Yeah, that makes it worth it then.
And then just locally, you can't see into it. Sound doesn't come out of it. Like you put it in a well-hidden area anyway, and it becomes impossible to find.
And how do we make this? Is this like a scroll that we buy or something?
You would have to buy a scroll of it,
We had Mockery checking one down for us.
and then Ulbrin has, as part of his domain spell, permanency. He can, with enough money, he can make it permanent.
The only question is, I'm looking at this from a roleplay kind of perspective. The kind of components necessary for a permanency spell, is it the sorts of thing that would kind of stand out and draw attention?
Normally, yes, but you guys have a secret weapon in the war on spell components. Well, you have two secret weapons against spell components. One is I fucking hate them.
Mm-hmm.
The other is that Ulfrid can sacrifice valuables to Bry in exchange for valuable materials, including certain spell components.
Well, guess who just sold all his valuable materials, boyo?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, now I have the money to actually do the spell and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a catch-22.
Well, I'm sure sacrificing just actual gold will work.
Yeah.
It is a valuable material.
That's fair.
I was just thinking roleplay wise is like, do we need to sneak around and stealthily acquire some of these components to make that work, you know?
Yeah, permanency says diamond dust. And I can tell you that Ulbrin, being a drow, knows how to use other valuable gems. Since he's a drow, and culturally the drow are very savvy about this sort of thing, I would let him use really any gems of appropriate value, not just diamonds. And then Ulfrid can take 12 13,000 gold and sort of spiritually exchange it with his god of craft and innovation for whatever material will work for the spell. Basically, money's money.
Money is power.
So what is this soul gem and why do we have to charge it, Ulfrid?
What's that?
I was joking around, like, if you used your thing to take all that money and turn it into one gem, I was like, just joking around, like it's a soul gem and we got to put a soul in
Gotcha.
it before it works.
All right. So are we gonna? Your guys' contact gonna have that scroll or?
You guys want
we're
to check on Mockery?
Well, he said he had to wait. We need to wait a few days before checking in with him. So,
I think it's been a day or so. You can try again if you wish.
all right.
Let's see.
Yeah, we'll give it a try. Question is, where do we want to put this?
We talked
Yeah.
about somewhere in the sewers at some point.
We also discussed the slot bag.
We also
Oh my
discussed the
God.
slot bag.
Slot bag makes sense.
Does it though? Well,
I think
it's
so.
up to you guys.
Is there a sewer under the slot bag?
Yeah, there has to be. Because of the food.
Some type of drainage for all those explosive things that people are eating. They have to have one.
Oh,
It's
Like I
the
said,
best of both worlds.
oh.
Like I
Could be the
said-
most filthiest part of the sewer system ever.
It's you go through the latrine that isn't working.
Good lord.
We're all gonna end up mutated after being there.
Wow. Okay, so wherever you put it, we shall have a graphic for it. It shall look like this. So, where's it going to be?
So is this just like the circle that enables us to teleport, or is this just makes it where this is a place we can teleport to without being traced?
Yeah, the second one.
Oh,
It's
yes,
a
the
complete.
slot bag is an awesome idea, right?
It's a circle of complete non-detection. So that's why we could use it as a teleport point.
I'm just saying, I don't think many technically hang out around the slot bag.
So we
No,
want it
but
to be. Oh, go ahead.
unfortunately, the kind of people who would rat to the technically probably do.
Do we specifically want it to be in Starfall?
Yeah, I think so because of the work we're gonna have to do. We need a safe place to go and hide after we do some dumb shit.
Yeah, and again, getting in and out, while possible, the more times we do it, the more likely we're going to be caught.
How
It's
about the
just,
scrap hole?
Well, we do have a safe place to teleport to Torch when we need to. So that's close enough to Scrapple, really.
Oh, scrap hole. I meant the.
Oh, you meant the scrap hole here in town,
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
the big junkyard that the dwarves run.
yeah,
It's a
because it
pretty
seems like it's a
public place. You'd
pretty.
get spotted teleporting in and out of there a lot.
yeah.
The coolest place in town.
I was thinking maybe the dead block. I mean, it's already an empty place and everybody leaves alone.
Well, we'd also discussed there's like the sewers underneath. What did you say, Toby? The fancy part of town that no one goes there anyway.
There is an expansive sewer system, and there is a central drain that is only really filled with water a few times a year during torrential downpour.
And I could always flood it in an emergency.
Possibly so.
I like that idea.
That's a pretty good idea, yeah.
Let me see here. Sewer. Roll me a knowledge local.
Right? You.
Where are the knowledge skills on?
They're on the bottom
Oh, here we go.
of the.
Oh,
They're
yep,
like
you're right.
ordered to the. Yeah.
Haha, everything's moved. Suck it. Oh, yeah, they are separated out, aren't they? Interesting.
Nomcath
like-
knows my town better than I do.
Yep. Shit. There is, let's see, if you guys are still partial to the idea of the slot bag or the safe house, there are sewer conduits. Let's see, I'm going to draw you some lines, and then you'll be able to pick a spot along those lines that you think you want to. The main sewer conduits generally go like this, like this, like this, like that, and like that. They drain kind of, the palace is on a hill, and they drain away from the hill in various directions.
Honestly, I like one of these two northeastern ones. It's in a place where you're not going to get many homeless people who would want to try and just live in the sewers because they don't have any other place to live. And although another thing about getting in and out would be a little bit harder.
Do we have a sense of are there not homeless people in certain areas? I'm just thinking
Mostly in kill
just thinking
bars.
from my personal life here in New York City, like homeless people are everywhere. It doesn't matter if it's a good part of town or not.
Yeah, but if they're, in the tunnels directly under Goldman Sachs will have them removed or killed, whatever Giuliani did all those years,
Yeah.
Maybe more down in the Grit Forge one. At least then, a bunch of adventurers showing up out of some place would look a little less out of place.
I like that idea.
Yeah, I trust you, Nomcath, and Blackout to figure out the best spot. I'll just cast a spell.
Yeah.
And Tracy, when Blackout makes a check like that is specific to Starfall, you can turn on your studied target buff. Gives you a little boost.
Right.
This is, like you say, this is his hometown. he's operated here many, many, many times. So, okay. So what are we thinking?
Somewhere's along this path in
That
Grit
southern
Forge.
route here.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the hubs where we can fill it with water if we need to.
Okay. Well, we're going to go explore the Grit Forge then.
Yep.
Okay. What sort of disguises, or how are we going to look when we go do that? Or are we going to turn
Cockroach.
into flying wind people?
Well, if I do, I recall that we were running a mission out to Scrapwall to find a bunch of shit.
We were gonna pick up the Robo Zombie parts to try and frame one of the other technically guys when we go after Aventhray's house.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, we want to do that mission, or do we want to try to get the scroll stuff going first?
Well, I think we were trying to get the scroll stuff going so that we could go do that mission.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Okay, so who's gonna go make contact with Mockery, Namkath, and
Well, I should say I think you should come this time because you're the one who's wanting the scroll.
okay.
In that case, I'll lead the charge on the Grit Forge. I'll go scope out those tunnels with I don't know, the dwarf. You know about tunnels, right? Talking to you, Wilfred.
I'm sorry?
He had his head. He had his head stuck in a tunnel.
Yeah, I was like, I'll go check out the tunnels over there in the Grit Forge. I'll take you, dwarf. You know about tunnels, right?
I know about tunnels and all that.
Sense motive.
Alfred
He
does
likes
not have
tunnels.
does not have an ounce of bluff to him. Oh wow, but you wouldn't know anyway, would you? Damn.
I just assume everyone's lying.
Yeah,
It's easier that way.
it is simpler. Yeah, much better at shooting people than reading them. Okay. So you guys gonna travel over land, try to go through that part of the city, and disguise your tech so you don't get arrested.
Pretty much. Alfred carries the bag, right?
One of them.
One of them.
All right. Anybody else want to come with us? Croctaw, right? That's your name.
Yeah, you can call me Chief, but yeah.
All right,
Whoa.
Chief. Is that your call sign?
Yeah.
All right, Chief.
I don't know where
You
that came
turn
from,
into
but yeah.
a cockroach. That would fit in the sewers.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, who needs disguises?
I'll take one.
Okay,
Let's
Namkath.
all let's all use them.
Okay. Namkath. Alfred. Myself. I get everybody? Croctaw, do you want one? Or are you good?
No, I'm good. Got cockroach form.
Gotcha.
Unless you want to make me look like a different cockroach.
Well, technically, when you wild shape, you can change your markings every time, right?
True.
Mhm.
I don't know, it's a me Mario comment by Blackout had me thinking of a cockroach in my mustache.
Let's go hit that warp pipe, guys.
Ah,
Boom, 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 boom. Don't make me go get those sound effects. I'll do it.
that'd be pretty
No.
good.
Please do. Please do.
God. Okay, I might get those sound effects for when you guys go into your sewer hideout you're gonna build.
A very specific version of the teleportation spell with that sound effect.
It's got to be that sound like when you're going down the pipe. Just whoop.
Yep.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking.
All right.
Let me-
You're gonna go talk to Mockery.
Yep.
Yep, Namkath and I, and then the other three are gonna go scope out
You're
tunnels.
gonna walk down the street, shooting your gun in the air, or
Got disguise check, and I will use some stealth to blend in.
Alfred. That's a total of 3 disguise check for you.
Okay.
I'm a dwarf.
Well,
I
you are.
think I may still have invisibility tagged.
Oh, are we rolling disguise?
No,
No,
you don't.
that
It's
is-
just,
that-
that's just
Okay.
you.
Okay.
That was without invisibility. A 42
Yeah.
stealth without
good roll.
invisibility.
So,
Always one behind you now, Cap. Damn it.
And you have a higher total than me.
I know. Pathetic.
so stealth team or mockery team is Olbrin and Nomcath?
Yeah.
Correct.
Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys head across town. You know the route by now. You even know generally where the guard patrols go, and you just avoid them entirely just by zigzagging very slightly. You come to the Mall of Numeria, and you want to tuck your way past the outer folks.
Yep.
Okay. They see you coming and nod at you, and you stop by like the florist shop, and she looks at you and says, "He's not here, honey. He's down the street getting some flapjacks."
Thanks. We'll swing by there. I could use some breakfast.
Yeah. I mean, if you think the real world Waffle House is full of combat, wait till you see the Starfall Waffle House.
I worked at Waffle House for a little bit.
I'm not surprised at all. Were you ever involved in an altercation?
No, on one of my nights off, all the waitresses had to go hide in the freezer because somebody pulled a gun.
Holy shit.
Jesus. Dude, the meme that crossed my, I don't remember even where I saw it the other day, but it was Ernest Hemingway. And he said, or no, it was Friedrich Nietzsche. And he said Denny's is Waffle House for people who can't fight.
So good.
Okay. So you guys head up the street and find a pancake joint. And you see, you think it's Mockery. He makes eye contact with you. His hair is different. He's got a medium length beard going on. His outfit's very different. He looks sort of like a workman, like a craftsman. And he nods at his table where he has a stack of 8 flapjacks and syrup and butter. And he is stuffing his face. And as you guys sit down, he goes, "Cheat day."
Every day's a cheat day when you want it to be.
That's right.
He orders a. Tomcat orders a stack.
All right. They come pretty quickly. They're only maybe a gold or so for a full plate of flapjacks, sausage, butter, and syrup. It's delicious. And Olbrin, this is true surface worlder food, and it's not even traditionally Numerian. It's, I mean, paying a gold for lunch or for breakfast is like, real life paying 40 or 50 bucks. Or for you New Yorkers, it's like paying $100 for pancakes. It's a lot. Because tough to grow any kind of wheat and other agriculture around here. So definitely imported.
Damn, this is some of the best food I've had in town already.
He nods. And he says, he looks at Olbrin and he says, "I got the thing you asked me about."
Excellent. That's what we came to inquire about.
He says, "Well, it's 900.
We can take care of that. Do you want us to drop off something that conspicuous over somewhere where it's a little easier to carry around, or?
He says, "You tell me when and where, and I'll have it delivered. After
All right.
you've left the funds with the butcher back there, which you guys know
Gotcha.
that's like 2 doors down from the florist."
Gotcha. You know what they call the dead block?
Yeah.
You'll find a stone cairn there, just kind of tucking underneath.
Okay.
Making a mental note to go build said cairn as soon as we're out of here.
Ah, shit! Hurry!
Oh, I have little doubt. I have little doubt we'll beat him there.
Gotta beat the courier there. You don't know how fast these couriers are. They're just zipping down the street.
I'm a cat in the city. They don't
Okay.
call the roofs of Thieves Highway for no reason.
Well, you guys enjoy your breakfast. He also has another extravagant thing. He pays like 2 gold for a pitcher of citrus juice. It's sort of like orange juice, a little more yellowy, but it tastes like that. Very bright, very sweet. Strange thing. Not something you ever had in the underworld, Olbrin. In Namkath, something you would have only experienced in when your tribe would roam to the south of Numeria, where there's a lot more green areas.
Oh, that stuff is always sharp on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Never liked it.
Very strange customs of you surface dwellers.
Well, there's all sorts of weird things we eat.
And you guys have a lovely time. He sort of makes conversation about the recent goings on, talks about
Yeah.
guard patrols being increased in Killbox and all sorts of structural repairs being talked about and some sort of laws or policy changes to increase, enforcement and pursuit of terrorism. Everyone's a little concerned that it's the gang wars escalating is what everyone's blaming it on so far.
Yeah. I, in an indirect way, definitely emphasize this was not planned. It was outside interference, and we just dealt with it and got the hell out of there.
He says it's the strangest thing has been that it's already it's no gangs have taken responsibility for it. When they hurt each other, they brag about it. Sometimes multiple people take responsibility for it. Then there's a fight about that. In this case, the city, the guard, the cops are so hot to catch whoever is involved in these incidents that none of the gangs are taking responsibility. So they're all getting pressed a little bit. They're all retracting a little bit. The gang wars have kind of cooled off for the moment, and everybody's sort of sitting behind their walls, wondering what comes next. It's created, honestly, a strange sort of peace. It's temporary, though, for sure.
Yeah, and it cost lives that that it shouldn't have. Yeah,
Note to self: frame more gangs.
well, the right gangs. I mean, some of them at least are semi decent around here, right?
I don't know. Ask Alfred
Well,
about
I'm
that.
asking. I'm asking a mockery.
He says, well, the V can be reasoned with. The others less so. The Junkers are sometimes negotiations go sour with them, and I never quite understand why. They're just very strange, but it's definitely a momentary peace, and it's already created a sort of shifting of resources in the city. More guardsmen being brought to the borders between Killbox and the inner sector. Some outside city patrols being pulled back. A lot of troop movements.
What about these huntsmen? What do you know about them?
The huntsman.
The flying hunter killer pieces of shit. I can't remember what they're called.
The robot?
Yeah.
The Myrmidons.
Myrmidons. There we go. Thank you, Alfred.
He says, I don't know what they call him. It's just technically flying death machine. They had one a few years ago. They don't, you see them zip across the sky once in a while. You don't really see them up close. Although a few years ago, there was another gang operating in the area, and they picked a couple of fights with neighboring gangs, and nobody knows why. But the Technic League took an interest in that particular gang war, and just one of those things came flying over Killbox and leveled the building that gang lived in. Killed at least 25 people.
What
And
gang was that?
Zipped. They were a mix of V and Junkers, and they had sort of formed their own new thing or trying to make their own territory. and I honestly don't know a thing about them other than they got wiped off the face of the map before they really got established, because the Technic League decided to just take them out.
Oh, you should know. We got a lead on one of the other people on that list. Things might be happening to them soon.
So we'll buckle down for stormy weather.
Yeah, well, hopefully this time it'll be a little bit quieter and it'll definitely be in a different part of town. But I thought you should know we're working on making progress on said list.
I said, well, I wish you luck. Let me know if I can do anything else. Try to be careful.
Yes, thank you.
He said, this, when you pick up the thing, it should help you out quite a bit.
Yeah, we got other people looking in the place for the best place to lay it down.
I signed to Numcath. Do you think he might have plans or blueprints for the place we're trying to get into? The what's his name's house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick sign back. Good idea. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, uh, some of your friends, are they any good at getting, say, housing blueprints?
You could request them from the city, but then they'd want to know why you want them, and you'd have to talk to at least one Technic League official who'd look pretty hard at you for wanting to know about them. But I can tell you that for a ridiculous fee, just about any Grit Forge or Sovereign's Watch neighborhood plumber or other general contractor will probably either draw you a map or share their map with you for, like I said, an exorbitant fee.
What kind of exorbitant are we talking about? 100 gold or 500-600?
I don't know. I would suspect under 100 gold, but you'd really want to know that they weren't going to tell anybody
Yeah.
And when you guys do what you guys may be doing, what you really don't want is for that plumber to then go to the cops and say, hey, these guys asked me for, maps of the sewers, blah, blah, blah. And they're definitely, you just don't want that to happen.
Well, that's of course assuming that the person we speak to knows what we actually look like.
Yeah.
We can always tie up loose ends though, too.
Oh, wow.
We've got other ways of misdirecting to not to result to those sorts of things with regular folk.
Not with Crocodile at hand.
Let's not go there.
Okay. You guys enjoy the rest of your breakfast. Talk about local politics and history. Mockery's been here a long time, and he knows a lot about Numerian history, Starfall history, a little bit about the Technic League. He mostly hates him. He said you do get a line out of him at one point as you discuss the captains, and he just doesn't know the answer to a lot of your questions. He said, I wish I'd paid more attention. I wish I'd taken notes on everything those sons of bitches do, but I didn't. I didn't think anything of them at the time.
Where I wrote that down and now I don't see it here. Crap. I must not have saved it. What was the name of that one captain that was that left on that journey, like Siva or something like that?
Yeah, yeah.
You can check with your buddy Blackout. He's
Well, I had the name. I'm just having. I can't remember the name. I had it written down here, but apparently I didn't save it. So
You said one went off somewhere else?
it was like Silvar or something like that. Because that was what I got the information from that Whisper Walk with Cassandra Lee.
You're talking about the fact that Scylla is missing.
Scylla, yeah, and suspected to have gone to wherever that other guy did.
Osmond disappeared for a while.
Okay,
came back much more powerful and took over the Technic League, and Scylla has disappeared now for a couple months.
Yeah. So, just a shot in the dark. You got any idea what direction Osmond did his little journey on, and now Scylla?
Couldn't tell you, other than I know that the Technic League's favorite thing to do is to dig up old stuff,
Yeah.
ancient tech, repair it, make it work. They don't want anybody to have it but them. And if they hear about a site or a cave into Silvermount or some uncovered relic anywhere in Numeria, they just assume it's theirs. From the moment that they know it exists, it belongs to them, and they go and they take it.
Yeah, all that stuff they got on a scrap wall.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I had an idea for that direction, but unfortunately, we don't have any concrete directions pointing us, so that'll stay on the back burner for now.
Okay.
All right.
You guys finish your breakfast and
Yep.
drop your
And
funds by the butcher.
yep.
He,
Oh,
you just walk in there and have it separated out in a bag ahead of time, or how do you do it?
oh yeah, definitely ahead of time.
You hand him the bag, and he
I tell him it's for the special order that we put in a few days ago.
he nods and picks up the bag, feeling the weight of it, and grabs it with two hands. Carefully tucks it into a box behind the counter, and you hear sort of a clunk and a whir as a safe lock clicks into place. And he says, "One moment," and he begins wrapping up a bunch of meat.
hmm
He wraps up like 24 spicy brats and like 12 huge burgers that are intermingled with the Numerian equivalent of an onion
hmm
and cheese, and piles this bag of goods up in front of you and goes, "Pleasure doing business."
Oh, you got some of those hot, spicy, real spicy brats? That's what we like, yeah.
Well, he says, it's the only brat in Starfall that's hot enough to taste it twice, if you know what I mean. He winks at you.
We do, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. We're looking forward to this. Pick it up and carry it out. And we hustle to the deadfall to quickly put together a little cairn that's like I'm thinking like like 2 foot tall at the most, and kind of a corner somewhere that's like not like an immediate line of sight, but not like really hidden. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Okay. You
Like
find.
something somebody might put together for like a little remembrance thing or whatever.
Sure. You've put together a few. You find some rocks. You find some old planks from a shattered building and some old tattered window drapes. And you
Yep.
can sort of construct a thing
Yep.
out of it. And then you guys hang out nearby.
Um, not too nearby.
Okay. You want to keep an eye on it, though, so you know
Yeah,
what
Mhm.
kinda.
happens. Okay. Roll me
I'll be up
stealth
on the
and
roof
perception, both of you, and you
I'll
can
be
use whatever spells or prep you care to.
I'll be up on the roof as usual.
Okay.
Steal and perception. Damn, I'm rolling hot tonight. As soon as I
Okay.
get into combat, I'll be rolling ones though.
Okay. You guys camp out there with your 23 perception and your 39 perception. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Mhm.
Both pretty sneaky and use spells to hide yourself. You hang out for about an hour, hour and a half after you built the cairn, and eventually you see a figure walking down the street, sort of stumbling, like he's not feeling too well, sort of weaving left and right. Almost seems like he's drunk. And as he just wobbles through the street, he trips and falls and catches himself on the side of the cairn, knocks a couple rocks off of it. You hear him say, "Fucking shit!" and get up and wander off down another street and disappear.
I'll give him about 10 minutes to get fully away before we go down.
Okay. Within the cairn, you find a scroll tube that looks like absolute shit. It looks like old faded leather. It's well sealed, but it just jammed it between a couple of the rocks in there.
I'll pull it out, dust it off, and hand it to our wizardly type.
Okay.
Here you go.
Thank you. I check and make sure it's the right thing.
Spellcraft check. Yep. Unfortunately, it is a trick casting of U-turn disintegrate. So you fire and it comes right back.
Never mind. I hand it back to Nomcath. You can use this.
Hey, try your UMD on this. It is indeed the correct scroll. Mage's Private Sanctum.
All right, we got the goods.
All right. Now we just need to find the place and get the rest of the materials for you to cast this.
All right.
Okay, so
How long
you
will it
guys are
take for you
gonna.
to do permanency?
I don't think very long, does it, Toby?
It might have a cast time.
Maybe
That's obnoxious.
probably. If
Permanency.
That just seems like a spell that would have like at least
Yeah.
an hour casting time.
It kind of doesn't. Let's see. Usage. Action. See text. Okay. Yeah, it's a 2-rounder. It's really pretty quick.
Damn.
Damn.
Mid combat. I want this
That's a
spell
bit
permanent.
ridiculous.
Allows
Yeah.
you to make some real fucked up snap decisions. Permanent slow on Tracy's character. Fuck you.
That would
I
be funny.
spent
Just
10,000 gold to fuck you.
wizard gets drunk, gets it all set up, and does it to himself within like 12 seconds. And he goes, "Oh no, I shouldn't have done that."
To a long drunken
Surprised he
night
hasn't
in the
done
slot.
permanent grease yet.
Oh yeah.
Can
permanent
we do
grease.
permanent grease?
The
We'll
answer is
discuss
always
that
yes.
At a later. Yeah.
Nah, the
technically.
rules say yes. The rules
different-
say yes.
Different character. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are all your characters obsessed with Grease?
No, that's just me.
Okay. Because you turned a major NPC, Connor Bain, into the Greasemancer.
He was once known by another name.
That was his technically name. He was
Yeah,
a,
the Grease Mancer.
he was a former captain who had to slide out in disgrace.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
That's what he did. He'd just slip and slide all the way from Palace Mountain down to Torch.
Real name is Connor Yarrow. KY.
KY. Hell yeah. Yeah, his middle name is Yas Queen. Yeah. Okay. So that is get the scroll crew. They have succeeded in their mission. They will eventually return to the safe house, I guess, for a rendezvous.
Yep.
Okay. So this is scouting out the sewer crew. Let's hear about your operation. I seem to remember we
I'm
had
just
like a
following
5 or a
Blackout.
6 disguise check for the dwarf.
Oh, mine was. Oh, for the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dwarf is not very disguised.
Alfred
Yeah,
is
his is
disguised
3.
as a nationally wanted criminal. Okay. But the tech is hidden in the bag of holding. Right?
Yeah.
The alien is disguised as a cockroach.
Yep.
Correct.
And Blackout, I made sure that you have a tech carrier's badge on you, which you do. You legally are allowed to have the tech that you have.
Sorry, I was going to the bathroom. That was a shitty time to choose to go.
It's totally fine.
Yeah, I think my disguise check was a 3, and yes, everything is away. Though I think I should put away my shield too, because it looks techy.
It looks techy. You could get asked about it, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
do have I do have a tech badge, so if you want to borrow that for not worry about the shield, it'd be the, like your one tech item.
The thing about it, Blackout can tell you this, is to have that badge means you are registered, which means the items are very cataloged, detailed, written descriptions of them are available. If a lawman ever says, show me your tech permit badge, it has a little number on it, he can then drag you down to the station. It's part of Starfall law. If he suspects you of anything, He can drag you in and have your tech cataloged. And if you have a single piece of tech on you that it's not on their list, like if they drag Blackout down to the police station right now, he'd make them look like assholes because he has registered his armor, his weapon. He legally is allowed to carry all of it in tech.
Yeah, he has like double, triple copies of all the documents.
Yeah, he's got like in his boot. Here's my concealed carry, bitch. Hand me that back. Give me that
It's
rifle back.
it's Shadowrun. His fake ID has all the licenses.
Hell yeah. So wearing tech openly still exposes you to interrogation, and if you can't back it up with the paperwork, then you'll just get arrested. You'll be arrested
All right.
for that.
Shield going in the bungus.
In the bungus. That's not what it's called. It's a bag of holding.
It's official bungus.
You guys are referring to your bag of holding as bungus now. Okay.
He is.
All containers are bunguses now.
Bungai. Okay. Stuffing things in the bungus and heading downtown.
Yep.
You guys pass by. You can see on the hill to the left. Yes, thank you, Tracy. Kawa Bungus.
Nice.
You can see the hill.
Very
In the
nice.
distance, you can see the palace. When the smog clears momentarily, you see a beautiful palace up there on the hill with the walls surrounding it. A lot of other military structures around it. A few very high-end residential homes on this side of the slope. And then down into the Grit Forge section where you'll find the streets are paved brick that fit together rather well. You can see that a mixture of magic and tech was used to pave the streets and sidewalks, to build the building foundations. Ulfred, you're seeing that the contractors and construction crews of Starfall have learned a little bit from the dwarves. They do a little bit, they sort of human style building, but they use some dwarven tricks to their stone foundations and their streets. Everything feels very firm, very well made. Alfred, as a dwarf walking on these streets, you can almost feel the sort of layer of gravel for drainage and shift underneath. You can feel that they're multi-layered, well-constructed lanes and roads here. Very different from Killbox, which is a lot of dirt roads caked with dried blood. So it's a different kind of feel. And the buildings are better made. There is still the smog. That is the one unifying thing in the city, is it smells kind of like sulfury burning chemicals or burning plastic on and off all over the place. And you're passing by weapon shops and blacksmiths. You're passing by tailors selling kind of lovely outfits for Numeria. Everything in Numeria has to survive a certain amount of dust. Everything in Starfall has to kind of not soak up the smog smell too much. So the fabrics they use here are a little different. There's a lot of, you would never wear like big city silks or fancy outfits like that in Starfall. They would just get immediately dirty and smell like gasoline. So it'd be bad. You guys are passing through here. You can move your tokens to the neighborhoods you kind of want to scout.
I was just thinking Oldburn's like the only one running around in town in nice robes.
Yeah, me too.
That is, yeah, and Olbrin does stand out in his white man's wedding dress. And it is perfectly clean at all times, but he does have a dirty brown cloak he can keep around it to not stick out so much.
I do.
Okay.
Although, I should get it tailored and make it look even better. It's a good
Yeah,
idea.
I mean, if you want constant attention, looking like an elven groom walking down the streets of Starfall would get you constant attention. You know, Liberace at Chuck E. Cheese would also stand out. Okay, so you guys are hunting for a particular sewer line in this neighborhood, and you can roll.
And an
Yeah.
inconspicuous entrance.
Okay. You are near the Grit Forge. What shops are you near? You guys probably don't care about shops on this trip, though, do you?
No, not so
Okay.
much.
Nah.
Okay. Then let's give me a knowledge local check and perception checks from the forward crew here: Ulfred, Blackout, and Krokta. Pretty good. 20. Very good knowledge local with a 39. 35 perception. Krokta, you're buzzing along, and you're like, this whole place looks the same. Every building's made out of the same ugly light brown to medium brown dirt bricks, sort of adobe, not very aesthetically pleasing. It looks like they have sucked all of the life out of this land, and instead of like a rolling, beautiful prairie, which is still a vibrant ecosystem, as a desert druid like Krokta would tell you, they have just sucked all the life out of this. This is considered a nice neighborhood, and as far as Krokta is concerned, you're just like, you guys have done a real good job making sure all of your seams of your bricks line up. That's it. That's kind of all she can say for it. It's hideous. Alfred, on the other hand, yeah. I lived in Colorado as a kid, and there are whole communities where everyone's required to use the same like style of Adobe. It just gets weird in a hurry. It's like
Yeah.
the New Mexico equivalent of Edward Scissorhands. That really creepy way the neighborhood all looks identical.
Yeah, I feel like there's only like one person that builds everything in Las Vegas outside the
Oh
strip.
yeah. No, this city,
That's what it felt like.
and this city, you know, it's partially a resource thing. It's partially this is the dirt and the building materials they have access to that are cheap in Numeria, but it's also a choice they're making. And Blackout, you get, according to what's known about the main drains, you get kind of in the neighborhood here. And Ulfred, you have noticed several what you suspect are sort of well concealed storm drains. They're grated over. They have a grate over them that has maybe a 1-inch wide set of, each slat's about 1 inch wide and 3 feet long. And people walk over it. They're not supposed to set things on it, but they do. And the grates are basically shaped like stone shaped sand drain covers that are magically enchanted to be sort of sandstone. Each one probably weighs about 500 pounds, and you can see one every couple blocks in this neighborhood.
I'll point a moot.
All right. What's the plan for entry?
I mean, I can get in there easily. I think Krokta's got a way in.
Krokta can
Yeah.
actually fit through the slats currently.
Okay. Do you guys want me to go in first, or just you guys move in?
Again, we just gotta find a good entry point, because it's not gonna work if we don't have a way in reliably.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I suck in me gut, I think I might be able to fit through there.
You said it's made of stone.
It is made of enchanted sandstone. It's somebody took like a stone-shaped spell and turned a pile of sand into a grate.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Could we use stone shape to make it like slightly wider so Alfred can fit through it or something?
Yeah, it would have to be a lot wider. The hole that it's covering is like 6 foot by 4 foot. It's a huge shaft down into the drain. So if you could lift the stone cover or stone shape through it, that would work.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't have a way to get him down there.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, I can just gaseous form Alfred.
That'll work.
And then, yeah.
We can check it out from the inside more easily than we could check it out from the outside.
Boom. Let's do it.
All right.
Okay. Using spells to sneak into the sewer. Love it.
Yep. So I just touch Alfred, turn him to gas.
You get that spell slot back. It worked.
Oh my God! This is
Holy
the
shit.
first time.
Ah, 5 levels later.
Best item ever.
It sucks so much. It's so good in Dota 2. Damn it. All right.
There's a shocked when Blackout does it without her touching him. She's like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's not druidic shapeshifting, but he just poofs into mist. He didn't wave his arms or say anything. He sort of shapeshifted into a cloud of mist, more like a druid than like a wizard would.
Hmm. That's concerning.
Yeah, it's disturbing.
Well,
Let's see.
I'll bring it up later.
Let me see.
Yeah, Crocodile will just scurry through.
Okay. The others are not here. Let's see. I'm going to pull you guys over to this map. Only the aforementioned people are actually here, though. And here we go. You guys float down through the grate into a darkened area. You still have your innate vision abilities, though, so you can see back and forth. You can smell. It doesn't smell as bad as you thought it would. There is a thin sort of creek, 3 foot wide, very carefully constructed out of enchanted and shaped stone, running past you, and the tunnel continues on to the northeast and the southeast into a huge junction with multiple entrances. And you can occasionally see light shining down from those grates up above. You're about 20 feet below the street level.
Well, this is nice down here. This is a proper tunnel, this is.
Yeah, Ulfred, again, you're seeing that same style of building. Human craftsmanship, but with a little bit of dwarven know-how. And then, of course, magic. They're using stone-shaped spells to create these bricks. They're all just too perfect.
So Kala took him here for a sec. I think he got it.
Oh yeah, get him out of here.
Alright, guess we start looking around.
Yeah, do I see, does it look like nothing can survive living down here either? Like in the water?
The water has, by Crocto's estimation, some poop, some pee, some chemicals, some sort of industrial runoff, ash and other things that get washed through the city sewers. So, no, it's not particularly alive. You couldn't drink the water down here. But it doesn't smell as terrible as you would think because there's actually very little water. There's a strange sort of cooler airflow. The city streets of Starfall are generally pretty warm, very dry, and down here it's a little more humid and it's a little cooler. You find these big junction chambers as you guys kind of cruise along. I assume you want to go back into walking form and not just be gas this whole time, or do you want to stay gaseous form for the full duration?
Oh no, I'll be walking around.
2 minutes a level for Croctaw's spell, and should be the same for Blackout.
Yeah, it's a minute per casting.
Okay. So you guys, the quandary for you guys is that if you build your sanctum in one of these tunnels, then you have 2 entrances in, 2 different directions you can go in the tunnel, but you have like a 10 or 20 foot wide spot in the tunnel. If you choose one of these junction rooms, you have a lot more space, it's much bigger, but then there's a lot more entrances and exits.
And ideally, I don't know. No one's gonna know we're here, right? That's the whole point. We want it because it's hidden. Since we have to worry about so many entrances.
Looks good, but we still have to find an entrance.
Okay. Give me another knowledge local check, please. Underground, it's hard to navigate exactly.
Can I search for anywhere that the water is coming in from here?
Yeah.
Or like a drainage pipe or something like that?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about sewers.
I'm trying to think. I thought there was a... let me see here. Blackout, you have a pretty good idea where you are into the city. Let me look at these spells of Croctos here. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't think you have anything prepared that would be particularly helpful with this. The one thing you have, Blackout, is you can see that there are kind of drains under a lot of the sort of factories and forges, the different craft shops in this part of the town. And those tend to drain, have like a constant trickle of chemicals or wastewater or other things like that. And you can see that certain neighborhoods are putting less into the sewer than others, meaning there's probably more unused buildings or closed businesses or less activity in general. So you can sort of pick based on that sort of stuff. Try and find an abandoned building that somehow had a sewer drain due to some industrial function it had.
Yeah. Alright, sounds good.
Okay.
Shove Croc Top through the cracks. Check it out.
You have him go up through the cracks and check out a building that is not currently draining anything.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a sort of dry creek bed coming from its drain. Croctog, you can roll stealth and perception for me.
Okay.
Very good stealth check. Very good perception check. Goodness.
Oh, the perception was from earlier.
Oh, that's previous. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's much worse, but still pretty good. You come up inside a gigantic factory that looks like it was... Well, it's difficult for Croc to say. That is strange, but roll me a knowledge engineering check for Croctaw, even though she doesn't buy it. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
You are in an unused pipe factory. This building is 200 feet wide by 100 foot long, and its entire purpose was to turn clay into like 10 foot long, 1 foot diameter major pipes for flowing water, chemicals, whatever, in other factories. And everything is covered with a thick layer of dust. There is indeed a crocodile. You immediately smell it and detect it. There is indeed a dead homeless person on the factory floor, about 40 feet away from where you come up through the grate. And internally, the grate in here is on a sort of hinge, so it could be propped open. It looks very similar to the street grates, but it is on a hinge, so it's much easier to open and close.
Okay. I'm gonna approach the homeless person and try to see if I can tell how long he's been dead.
You would say at least 7 to 8 months.
Oof.
Yep.
Alright.
It's just sort of a dusty funk in here. It doesn't smell like fresh death.
Yeah, does he seem like he just died? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not like he was murdered and he just died.
Doesn't look. You don't see any signs of foul play.
Okay.
You see that he, in his hand, you see a crumpled up something. Can't tell what it is.
Okay. I'll wild shape out of into alien form and grab the paper.
It's a little orange packet.
Like
It's
there's
torn
orange stuff
torn
inside the
open.
packet, or?
It's a little packet of something, like the size of a bag of chewing tobacco or something, and it's torn open, and it's completely empty. And you've seen it before. Tokala had a couple of them a few weeks, like a week or two ago.
That's the good shit.
Okay. Let's see. And it's empty inside, you said, though?
Uh huh.
Okay.
He came in here and ate it all and died.
Yeah. All right. Well, is there anything? Can I do? Let's see. So it was mostly pipes and the homeless man
Mm-hmm.
and dust. Okay. Um, I will wild shape back in the cockroach form, and then I will just like fly upwards. And how high are the ceilings? Are they pretty? It's like a big building, big
Yep.
warehouse, or?
25-foot ceilings, a lot of machinery hanging from the ceiling and attached to the walls to facilitate cranking out, however many pipes a day they could make in their heyday.
Okay, yeah, I'm just assuming that like as a cockroach I couldn't see very far beyond the pipes right around me, so I would fly up high to the ceiling and just try to go across the whole building, make sure I don't see anything else before I go back.
Mm-hmm. You can, let's see, what was your perception check? 23. And you see that there is a sort of weird sketch portrait of a person on the wall that's covered in dust, and you can't quite read the writing on it.
Okay, I will, can I use my wind blast feature to do like a light
Oh
wind
yeah,
blast to dust
give it a
it?
little puff to blow the dust free.
Yeah.
Okay. You see a picture of a profoundly ugly human Kelid, barbarian man, and underneath it says Grok, employee of the month. And then next to it, you've blown clear a sign that says number of days since an injury, 2.
That means nothing to Crocta. She's just,
Yeah, this is some dumb human shit.
yeah. Does the painting have like high quality?
Oh no,
Like a
it's
good.
a rough sketch of what, if it's accurate, a very ugly man.
Okay. Well, any no other like adjacent rooms that look like I need to explore them or anything like it? Looks like a pretty safe, abandoned place.
Yep, it just there's a lot
Okay.
of machinery sort of in the way and
Mhm.
dusty windows. You think if anybody actually like looked in from the outside, they would just see a bunch of dusty machinery.
Right. Okay. And are the last question, the pipes? Did you say like are they made of stone or are they metal?
The pipes that they make here in the factory
Yeah.
are a hardened type of clay. They
Right.
take clay, mix it until it's really thick, and kind of bake it, and then probably have some minorly magical process to make it even stronger.
Okay.
Basically, a big old ceramic pipe.
Okay. I was just trying to make sure it's not like secretly some robot factory or something. Where it's like a bunch of
There
metal
you
tubes that
go.
turn into legs.
Terracotta. Good for making lots of pipe, or if you're a dying emperor and you need to make 1,000 warriors to defend you in the afterlife. This is
I
the
was
stuff.
just reading about that last week. That's so crazy. So many
Yeah.
of them they made.
There's no limit to human ego. We've never found the limit. We're
Yeah.
half of
So
us are fucking related to Genghis Khan. That's
okay. So yeah, Crocta. After that, we'll just fly back through the little grade that she went through and just
all right.
back
You
down and
rejoin
say,
your
yeah,
scouting party.
yeah. This looks like a abandoned warehouse. Just a bunch of pipes everywhere, leading to different warp zones. No, I mean just a bunch of pipes and machinery.
Excellent.
Oh, a dead homeless guy too. Sorry, I forgot about that.
I mean, perfect cover, right? Somebody sees a dead guy there, they're gonna say, "Oh, nobody's been here before."
Yeah, he's been there for months and months. I think he died from this drug that I saw. Zocala. You didn't meet him, but he used to take it.
Well, that's some nasty stuff. That is.
Yeah, I mean, drugs cloud your decision-making skills, and it's just not for me.
Wow, listen to this.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I
Devotion to
enjoy them
character.
occasionally.
Takala, give me
Anyway.
that. Rips it open.
Anyway.
If you're in the scouting party and you have ranks in survival, would you roll it, please?
Yeah.
Yep, good. Good enough. Also good.
Ooh.
Natural 2 gets you to 25, crackhead. You guys discuss what's upstairs, and you kind of peek through the grate, and Crocodile describes it very well. That room is unused for months and covered in a thin layer of dust. So, if you guys walk around up there at all, you will leave very, very obvious traces that you were there. It's pristine in its untouched nature, and it would be very difficult to counter-track your passing or activity upstairs. But it's also, as you noticed, a good cover. No one looking in there would think anything's gone on in or around this building in ages.
Well, that's
So
fine.
sorry.
We don't expect anyone to come in here anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, I could blow all the dust away if we wanted to like leave no tracks.
I think if they make our location, we're fucked anyway. So
Yeah.
There you
How about like every time we go, I just blow some wind around, the dust raises and then settles back down, and that would
Good work. Good
hide
work.
our tracks maybe.
So, done scouting? Is this the site?
yeah, I like it.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. You want the sewer passage underneath it, or do you want to build it into the warehouse? Or into the factory? Fine with either. I don't have a factory map currently, but I'll find one. In case we
You know, let's make him work. The factory.
If if you guys play your cards right, it'll never matter. So I'll, given what I just said, I will definitely make that map right away.
Yeah, whichever. I don't mind.
Sewer?
Yeah, I say stay in the sewer.
Okay. You guys want to exit through the factory, exit back through a grate with gaseous form again later somewhere else? Can
Let's
you
go
do that
through the
again?
factory just to
Okay.
make sure that we can route a good path out of there.
Okay. Let's go back to the city map. The factory is... Let me pull you guys back over here. The factory you found... Let me get my little dot. Do this. Factory is here on this block. And... you guys exit. The doors are locked from the inside. They're easily... You can unlatch them from the inside. And you step outside and turn around and look at the giant dusty sign on the building you've selected here. The street's pretty much empty. Opens onto sort of a vacant street with other warehouses and factories nearby. And you notice that the name of this defunct pipe factory is Slayin Pipe. Classy, huh?
Obviously, they were related to the founder of Slotbag.
Yeah, the city really likes their puns, I guess. I mean, if we would have just opened up a shop with a pun name, no one would have ever suspected us. Really, me and Major Sanctum, we fit right in.
No, see, they're all the pun names are controlled by a single family, so it's like kind of like a mafia thing.
It's like a really dumb family with a crappy sense of humor. Yeah.
But a lot of really big, like 7 foot tall Iowa cornbread guys.
Hell yeah. That's how you run a factory, bud. With a bunch of dumbasses, then you go out of business. Okay, so scouting done. You want to return to
Yep.
your rendezvous?
Yeah.
Okay. What is next?
Have any luck?
Got the spot and the entry location.
Good. Good cover for getting in and out.
As long as nobody sees us go into the building.
Got a dead guy
Hmm.
at the entrance. It's like discourage people from coming around there.
Yeah, not a bad thing.
There is a dead guy, or we need a dead guy?
Um,
Need a dead guy. Olburn's already about to cast Disintegrate. That's a bad
No,
spell.
that's
I'm ready.
It doesn't
I'm
leave
ready.
body.
Well, no, see, that's how we cover our tracks in the dusty area, because he just disintegrates people to replace the dust.
Oh, well.
hmm.
I say we need to get our hands on some workman clothes instead of constantly relying on Olbrin's spells. Make it a little bit more, or make us stand out a little bit less going in and out, but that should be easy enough to do.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't need clothes, but if you guys want to go shopping,
Nah, you'll just be, bug form as usual. That's fine. It works easier. I'm trying to figure out ways to save resources.
Well, you're good at stealing stuff. You can probably steal that pretty easy, right, Numcath?
Yeah, I can acquire some stuff, yeah.
Okay.
Worn stuff would work better anyways. I'll worry about that over the next couple of days. A little bit here, a little bit there. So, if we got the place, no time like the present of getting that spell cast up, right?
Yeah, we got some something to do, I think, out in Scrapwall, so the sooner the better.
Yeah, exactly. Now, there was an idea, and I'll float this to the rest of the party. We might be able to find some of the local handyman types around that captain's place and grease a few palms and convince him to give us a map of maybe the inside of the building. The downside of course being is when a ruckus starts up, there's a chance they'll try and finger whoever did it to get a little bit of cash on the inside. While we can cover that with the use of certain spells, it's still a risk. I'm putting it up to the group to see if it's anything worthwhile.
I think that exposing ourselves to the risk isn't worth it.
I think so too. It's not like we're trying to do a break-in and steal one thing and leave, and hopefully nobody notices it for the next few days to weeks. We're going into a fight. Knowing the exact layout, it doesn't give us that big of an advantage, but I figured I'd bring it up as an idea.
Yeah. The only reason I asked is if it gave us a hand up on infiltrating in a different way that's not loud and immediately blows our cover. But if it's not worth it, it's not worth it. Just a thought.
I agree. It was worth investigating. That's why I brought it up to everybody else to get their opinion.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get this cast set up, and then head to Scrapwall.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. You are going to use what to pay for the 12,500 spell component?
Several magic items that we are going to fit, quote unquote, fence in this way.
Hmm.
It's stuff we sold last session, so we have
Yeah.
the direct gold value, but we can say we just
Okay.
we saved it for the spell for conversion.
Yeah, I have 23K on me.
Damn.
Wow.
Fucking rich.
I got a little under 9,000 or 10,000 myself, or
My
a little
dwarf
over
money
10,000.
daddy.
Yep.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
That cockroach lit him.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
My wife just thought I was talking about a real cockroach in the house. And freaked out.
Oh, she's
I
about
was
to
wondering.
fucking go Super Saiyan on your ass. What?
She got scared. She went, ah!
Yeah, we heard
Look her
it.
in the eye and tell her it's me. It's me.
Yeah, I'm the cockroach in the game. So
Yeah. Somehow, I bet she already knew. Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. Slayin, pipe, factory. Then let's do this. Give me one moment here. And boom, boom. Where is it? Activate tokens and vision. Ha! Make me work, will ya? You guys are going to head to the factory with your scroll and your money, and you're going to put a permanency spell on. Let's see, what part of the factory? We need a. Oh, we need a corpse. Always, don't we? Everywhere you guys go. Here's
We don't.
the dead guy.
Yeah, if we don't find him, we make him.
That's right.
We talked about doing the Mage's Sanctum underneath, like down in the tunnels.
Okay, so that's going to be underneath the factory in the sewer.
Yeah.
Not actually in here. Okay.
Well, yeah. What if they start operations again?
Yeah, always possible. Capitalism. Okay, so in the sewer, underneath the factory. Any particular spot? The mage's private sanctum here. We need to do this because it's a certain size.
Yeah, it's 30-foot cube per level.
Yeah. So it can be a gigantic area. He can get the tunnels underneath. Like this, say a map this size, you could just say this map you're looking at right now is the junction underneath the pipe factory. And it's all Mage's Sanctum, and he can even make the entire factory Mage's Sanctum too.
That'd be a little obvious, again, if somebody just came in to investigate, right?
If someone walked into the room, they would eventually catch on that there's a sound barrier, because as soon as they cross out of it, they wouldn't hear any sound from that. It could possibly be discovered by normal people.
Yeah. I'd keep it down here. One other thing, though, Oberon, is there anything we can do to make this place easier for you to target for a teleport?
I mean, I could always study it really good. I could make a circle if needed, but I don't know that we need to. Do we, Toby?
No, studying it is the most important thing. That's the way to get 0% chance of goof ups.
Yeah. So just being there a lot, let me study it, get used to the field, the direction and everything.
Would doing distinctive markings help make it focus in your mind more?
And I think that would be more like a teleportation circle, and I don't think we need that at this point.
Well,
Right,
I was just
Toby?
thinking, this is, he just kind of waves around. This is all bare stone. There's not really much distinctive.
Yeah, I mean, I'll study this area, and then once we created the sanctum, I'll study that too.
Okay.
It may take a few days, few hours, but Give me some time with it, and we'll get it done.
I just think we could like carve some just not necessarily magical symbols, but little decorations on certain walls or something like that, just to make it help. I'm looking for ways to help you out, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Well, there's always the ugly picture guy.
There will be a part of it, and this is just part of the way the spell's made permanent. There will be like a 10-foot. You're looking at it on the map now, but it is a glowing magical rune circle of abjuration symbols. It's very easily read by anybody that can make like a DC 20 spellcraft check. And even if they can't make the check, it's very, very obviously magic. You want to tuck that somewhere down here. You could even like put a rug over it, but you know, why is there a rug in the sewer? It's just another thing to think about, where you actually want the heart of the spell.
No, we don't have to do a rug. You can always,
You could
grab
put it
some-
over here in
Well, I'm
the
saying
sewer
we can
water.
grab some cloth. We can grab some cloth, kind of bundle it up, make it look like a homeless person made a nest there for a while. You know.
That's true. Croctile looks at it and goes, I don't know what that spell is. Yeah. 14 spellcraft.
There's ways to hide it and make it look not suspicious, as long as it doesn't glow through.
I see nothing wrong with it. Like, it doesn't even look like a spell to me.
Wow. Natural 1, total of 5 spellcraft from Ulfred.
Okay, just because.
Natural 2, total of 4 from Nomcath.
Oh my god, yes.
Natural 2, total of 4 from Blackout.
This magic stuff is mysterious.
Yeah.
Literally
It's
no
probably
one in the
fine.
party can understand this except Olbrin. None of you have the fucking clue what he's doing.
God damn, he's mystical.
You are like
This
watching
guy.
him launch a rocket to Mars. It's nuts. What he's
Just trust
This is
me.
why Croc doesn't
It'll
read
all
it,
be
man.
fine.
doing. This is some deep. You guys are just you're gonna do the normal thing and assign it to his culture. This is some creepy drow shit.
Yeah.
I'm honestly shocked that you haven't found your way into the Technic League yourself there, Oldrin.
Oh, they
Got
love
the
it.
skill.
They'd love it.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Tukala?
I said, I'm honestly surprised you haven't made your way into the Technic League yourself there, Oldrin. You've got the skill.
Well, maybe, but the bastards made me a captive and a slave for a little while, so, fuck them.
Okay. Any particular spot you want the circle in here, or is where it is right there fine?
I mean, that works
Seems
for
like
me.
an Oberon decision to me. Sorry.
Right now, it's just
No,
at the center of a junction. To the south is a pool of water. There's exits to the east, southeast, west, northeast, north. Just one of a million
Say,
sewer junctions.
don't put it in the water, because the water is pretty gross.
Put it in the water? I mean, that'll
No,
hide the circle.
It would hide the circle. You don't have to necessarily teleport into the muck when you come here.
I mean, the circle just guides us to the sanctum. We'll teleport into the sanctum, right? So we won't be in the water?
I mean, as long as you don't have to maintain it, then sure, why not put it there?
I mean, we're wanting it to be hidden, right? So
Exactly.
if it's natural and keeps it hidden, let's go for it, right?
Yeah.
It hides it a little bit. It still has a bit of a glow. There's a
Yeah,
slight smidge of special effect. But let's see if we do this.
I feel like people wouldn't be too surprised by glowing water occasionally in this place.
And dim that a little bit. So it's a little more subtle now that it's in the water.
Right,
Okay.
well,
Mage's private sanctum. I don't think you have to do
How much
anything
was it?
particular for it. All told, it's gonna be 13,400.
All right, I'll just pay it.
Well, I
Because it
already
was-
did the 900.
Oh, you
for
already did the
scroll.
900. Then it's just 12,500.
Okay.
Okay. Do I need to cast anything for permanency or anything like that, Toby? How do you
No,
do that?
Nomcat, did you buy the scroll?
Yeah, we bought the scroll.
Okay, just go ahead and spend it. Even though Olbrin's casting it, you just go ahead and spend it.
Oh well. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't like physically buy the scroll.
Oh, you spent the money. Gotcha.
Yes.
All right.
I didn't know. I didn't know there was an object for me to pick up. So.
Yeah. Let's see, mockery. I'll just do this for completeness. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so what is next?
Do you want me to technically spend a 5th level spell slot to do that, Toby?
Nah, you just read it off a scroll, so.
Well, I meant for the permanency.
Oh, yeah, you do have to cast permanency. So here, I don't think we have a macro for that, but you're going to cast it so rarely. I don't think we need to. The fuck is it? Boom. Permanency. Done. Guys are big boy time now.
All right, let me just ask this real quick. You spent 10 minutes casting the first spell, and then like 10 seconds to make it last forever?
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's some wizard shit, Bo. This is why drow wizards are the master race. Can't help it.
Wow.
You know, I've heard that somewhere before.
Okay, I'm sticking with my knives. They make sense.
I can disintegrate them along with you.
Yeah, I don't think Oben realizes, but when he says this type of shit, it actually scares Croctail a little bit.
He says
Like,
it with
legitimately.
he says it with a smile on his face.
You
Yes,
can't
but-
tell. All three
but
people
drow-
cover their mouths.
Drow expressions are subtle, you know? Your idea of a big grin is what the drow idea of a big grin is like just a little corner of the mouth up and a little smirk, you know?
I mean, how can you not trust a drow in a princely groomsman's robe? I don't see what the problem is.
Yeah, honestly, all your facial expressions of your mouth are like grotesque to me. I just try to look away.
Jesus.
I mean, you guys have no dignity. Just like flashing your mouths everywhere. So yeah, I just try to look away.
It's perfectly natural for us.
Oh, I mean, I'm not saying that to you. I'm just
Yeah, the Kasath wear masks all the time, so as far as they're concerned, it's like you guys are walking around with your buttholes on full display.
Exactly.
Just not something they would do.
So yeah, like if he's smiling, I'm just like, what's going on?
You can see all the way down your digestive tract. It's disgusting.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright, so our hideout's taken care of. We're pretty good and set there. What's our next move?
Well, if you need time to study it, I think we were planning on using the windwalk to get to Scrapwall, right?
I think so. That was the plan.
Sure.
Why not just plan to do it tomorrow morning? That way you at least have a few hours to study this so we can return back faster if necessary.
Okay. Toby, how long do I need to study it to get really familiar with it? It's probably a few days, right?
Quite a while. Let's see. Time, spells, teleport. Let's do this. Oh, I see what they've done there. That's actually kind of annoying. Let's see. Very familiar. A place you've been often and where you feel at home. So you need to study it very often and feel at home to have the safest possible teleport to this spot.
Okay.
Currently, you have viewed this place once, so you have a 76% chance of success teleporting here.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Once you've seen it a few times, spent some time here, I will say that you've actually already upgraded to Seek Casually, so you have an 88% chance of success. If you spend, I'm going to say a day here, studying it carefully, it will then be studied carefully, which is 94% success. And then once you've used it a few times, and you guys have like crashed here, or you've studied it a couple of times, then you'll get to very familiar, which is 97% accurate.
Okay. I explained that kind of timeline to the people, to the folks, to the party. And yeah, let's formulate our plans on that if we want to have an ability to bail out and come here if we need to.
What happens if your casting fails?
Don't worry about it. You don't want to know.
Well, then let's go now.
Living on the edge.
I mean, we can. If we want to go ahead and go, we can go. I know with Crocodile Spell, we can get there in just a few hours.
Oh, I only prepared one windwalk today, actually. So I can take all of us but one of us.
Well, if we can wait a day and get all of our spells back and then go, and I can have a little more time to study, or I can stay here and keep studying and you guys can go. It's up to you.
Sounds like we need to wait until tomorrow anyways.
Yeah. Or leave Luna behind because she's being quiet today.
I can always come pick her back up. I don't know.
Okay, rest a day and I'll study and then we can go from there.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Just
You
hang
guys
out
want to
down here,
rest
right?
here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say I probably spend part of that time going back upstairs and scavenging some stuff to kind of turn this into another little hideout. And throwing out furniture, some other things.
Okay. Here's your watch boxes. Who's on what watch?
I'll take first.
Excuse me? I'm always on first watch. God damn it.
I just didn't want to move my token.
Whoa.
I really don't care.
I can't even see the first box. I see the one. That's it.
I'd like to pair up with Ober.
See, I'm
Purple
usually
who?
second. I'm usually second, I think.
Okay.
I can see a little bit.
Choose a different watch, Bugman.
Oh, really? Fuck, no one wants. Alright, I got third watch.
Is there actually a third watch?
Which
No.
watch is Oberon on second?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Crocodile will do her own thing. Given that both people, both watches say, get out of here.
It's hard to be the bug lady.
Yeah.
Tend to bug people.
Yeah. Okay. The night passes peacefully as you guys sleep in the sewer. Not the grossest place you've ever spent the night, or the most dangerous necessarily, so no problem.
While on watch, I'm gonna ask Oberon, that hand thing you do, I've seen it before. You think you could teach me that?
Maybe. It would take some study. I don't know how good of a pupil you would be, though.
Wow.
Sharper than you think.
Well, the rest of them learned it, so it's a good chance you will too. I'll start slow, with small words, as I did with Tokala.
Black Cat's gonna look back at the sleeping ones, make sure that they're really asleep, and then he's going to turn back over and say, "If you tell anyone this, I'll kill you." And he'll take off his mask. He wants you to see his face. And you see underneath that he is half drow, half human.
Interesting. I start signing to him so you do understand.
No.
No.
He's still looking at your hands. He's like, I don't know what you're saying.
Okay. What's your lineage? How did you come here?
Like you mentioned before, slavery. It's a bitch. My mom was she was owned by one of the wizards here, and things happen, and here I am. Lived here my whole life.
Your whole life. Seems like you'd be a rather easy outcast for most of this society.
Yeah, it's bullshit. These people, they don't like half-breeds. It's, so Yeah, I'm good at what I do, but for them, I'll never be anything more than a mercenary.
A tool to do what they don't want to do all the time. Understand?
Right. Yeah. Uh, the only ones who actually know what I am are the Technic League captains, and you know, they keep it quiet. Anyone else, they're gone now.
How did you even gain their trust?
I didn't gain all of their trust. I gained my patron's trust.
Who's your patron?
He'll look back at the sleeping group and he'll say, "All right, I've told you one thing. I'll tell you another, but let's keep it between us, all right?"
Okay.
And just a second, I don't remember her name. I'm looking at my notes.
You.
I know.
No, it's
How
fine.
terrible.
Did I give you?
You gave me a list here. There we go. My patron is Zernabeth, who I believe is Android.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You can roll knowledge local on that. It'd be a very difficult check, but Blackout could make it. Yep, 30 plus. She is human. She does have strangely metallic looking blue skin. Sort of like the Shade who you guys already fought. Zernabeth was altered by exploring some technological ruin years ago. She was nearly killed. She's actually got a prosthetic arm as well from that incident. So she is blue-skinned, yellow-eyed with a robot arm, and she is, in fact, human.
Gotcha. So she's human, but she's altered.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
It's kind of a common theme in the Technic League. A lot of people who go off, who join the Technic League, and they find some amazing ruin, and they go in there and they just start trying to figure out what everything is, and the defenses sometimes get them. Sometimes they're altered by the things they discover. Sometimes they alter themselves. The Shade was basically infected with nanotechnology. You guys saw what it did to her body. Completely. She looked like an alien. She looked more like an android even than Zernabeth does. Zernabeth looks like a small frost giant. She looks like a normal sized frost giant because she has just that weird bluish hue. It's so unnatural. And then you think of the other Technic League people you've known. Sanville Trent went off to gather information for the Technic League and got publicly executed. Theris Hollyard went to the Scar of the Spider and ended up being a brain in a jar. Furcus Soud made the Smoking Tower and ended up a ghost, an angry ghost. The Technic League folks, they are explorers and they do meddle with dangerous powers and dangerous technology, and they very often pay for it with their lives or their bodies.
Those are success rates like 50-50.
Yeah, there's very few of them that are just like a human in control of their magic and technology. A lot of them are basically walking scars.
Well, I wanted you to know. I don't see many of our kind around here. So,
I've never seen another since I've been up above ground.
For
Other than my-
Josh,
Yeah.
the picture that Tracy has for Blackout is, to Olbrin's eye, a human-shaped head and face. Like, he has a human-shaped nose and eyebrows and mouth and cheeks, but his skin tone is that impossibly dark drow black, and he has sort of this. It's a skin tone you know well, even among the drow. He looks like stone. He's made of just. If you didn't know he was made of flesh, you would think he was made of the blackest rock wall. And his eyes are of a reddish hue, which is not super uncommon. It's not the most common drow eye color, but it's common. And then he does have a little bit of pointed ears. He has very close cropped, very drow white, snow white hair, just so contrasted with the skin tone. But as you look at him, you see it. It's just half drow. This is drow ears, drow skin color, hair color on essentially a human head. He's an interesting hybrid. And scarred. His face is. He has puncture wounds, lacerations, he's taken a lot of beatings. He might have a little cauliflower ear. He has been pummeled.
Okay, and because it makes sense to do so, and I've not got to screw my character over with this trait at all yet, I have to roll sense motive and take the lower roll.
Oh, you do, which is a 5.
I believe every word.
Well, he's in this one instance, he's just trying to make a connection with one of his own kind.
So your benefactor, how did you guys cross paths, and how did you earn her trust?
You know how it goes, scraping my way through. A kid of a slave. I'd get told to go do this or that, but I don't know. She saw something in me, and she gave me a chance for something. I don't know, for glory, I guess. You know, I proved myself, and yeah, you know, she lets me take other contracts too, of course. She's not, but when she calls, I answer.
So, does she approve of your current mission with us?
Who do you think sent me here?
So her desire is to destroy the Technic League?
No, not exactly.
Gain more
You know-
power?
Yeah, like all technically captains, except in this case, she wants to have all the power. You know, Osmond comes back and he is what he is now. He just takes over the place. She was the captain before he was. I mean, you know, she deserves to be on top, and I deserve to be her right-hand man.
So it's just a continuation of a pissing contest, basically.
Well, I mean, you could see it that way. Yeah, I guess. Except all the new captains will be ones that we choose.
So do you believe that technically under her instruction will be any different than what it is now?
You know, probably not. But how do you change something like this? They've been around so long and they've got so much power. I don't think there's any change in it, to be honest. Better just to choose the person on top, you know, the one who's gonna do the most good.
Who's behind the Technic League? Have you thought of that?
No one? They're just a group of humans, you know, all fighting for control. Powerful, yeah, mages. Mystical shit, you understand that, but yeah, it's just a bunch of people who want power.
Well, we've seen power come in lots of different forms. And generally what drives people to subjugate other people is desire for more power. And from what I can tell, the Technic League's desire goes beyond just wanting to have power and technology and rule other people. I think there's something behind them driving it even more. It's something you might want to consider as you move through your life. It may not be as plain as you think it is.
I'll take your word on that one. I mean, you guys have been a lot more places than I have. From my perspective, this city, this is kind of everything.
Yeah, that's understandable. I don't know how comfortable you are revealing yourself and going out on a limb with us, yes, but I think talking to Alfred and hearing his backstory might be good for you. Might be helpful.
Maybe. I don't know. Dwarves, kind of assholes.
They can be, yes, but Alfred also helped release me from slavery. In a battle where it was very unclear whether I was going to be helped or not. And he helped save my sister and her friend, and now they are well established and safe. So, that's my experience, and I appreciate you trusting me and making this connection.
I mean, like I said, you're the first one I've seen since my mother passed, so you know, had to take the risk.
We all do. And it doesn't go unnoticed. I want you to know that. But you've done good by us so far, and I know Croctaw can be kind of weird and kind of a pain sometimes, but her intentions are mysterious, as are yours, as are mine in some ways. But I think together we can find a way to make what happens come out good for the majority. I believe that technically is not necessarily the end-all answer for most of this area.
Well, hey, you got a better plan. I'm all ears. For
Well,
now, though, you know, I'm working the angles I've got.
understandable. Now, so how you signed the letter A goes like this.
He'll put the helmet back on and then start practicing.
Okay. You can borrow a rank of linguistics and begin to understand Drow Sign Language.
Very cool.
Didn't see that one coming, did you, Oldman?
I did not. Very cool. A little twist.
It's full of surprises.
Ain't he, though?
All right. Any other business that evening? Croctaw, what are you actually doing for your watch? Or are you just lurking around as a bug all night?
Yeah, I figured I'd just do my bug thing and
Okay.
go hide somewhere and sleep there. I thought about asking if I could get perception to hear them
You
talking
can.
to each other so long.
You can.
Alright.
I thought about that too, and honestly, it's the kind of
Untrusting
Like-
thing that I would do. It crocked up my
The thing
feelings.
is, I think you would watch them having a conversation, and you might even see him take his mask off, but you'd be like, you know, who cares? You're not Kassath, so you Earthlings all look the same.
True, yeah, I don't think
They
she
really
get the
don't, but-
significance.
I think the significance of the trust that was just shared would escape her.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, she might be like, oh, they're the same. That must be nice.
She's like,
for
oh,
them."
yeah, they're getting along. Like maybe they're making friends. She understands that part, of course, but. So yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
and she doesn't, unlike everybody else, she does not have any pre-bias against Drow. The only Drow she's ever known is Ulbrin, and he's a friend. So
I think she would maybe think like, oh, maybe that's where the smoke shit comes from. He's like Oberon,
makes sense.
a little magical.
That does make sense. He must be a little magical. Okay. If there's nothing else that evening, we'll fast forward to the morning time. And what will the plan be?
walk our way back to Scrapwall.
Right.
Oh no, I wanted the city. Well, actually, this will be fine. Okay. So everyone, let me make sure you're rested. You should all be fully rested now. And
I'm
what's the
doubly
first-
rested. I have twice the amount of spells that I should have. Thank you.
Negative. You already have twice the amount of spells you should have anyway. So, because you are a Pathfinder 1 sorcerer. I'll always remember, Spell Prism, that you chose to work on a day where it was just skill checks and RP and it didn't matter. So cool. Super cool. Piece of shit item.
I mean, on a day where I cast one spell
Yeah.
in game.
And it didn't cost anything. Oh.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that you still look every time. Like
I
had
do look
forgotten
every
about it.
time. I look every fucking time. I want to put a sound effect with it. If I could make it roll a sound effect when it just rolls a 20,
That would
someday
be
I'll figure
nice.
that out. Mm-hmm. Just whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah, but
That's right.
surely it's done it another time and we just missed it. There's no way, I would think.
I
I never
generally
got a 20.
look. I try to. I'm. It's possible. I could have missed it, but it's just like, yeah. I really wanted to just like do some Furka sound or something, you know, some kind of magic sound when it does it. Maybe some beautiful music.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love that song.
Okay.
It may, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't know why, but my son and his friends listen to that song sometimes when they're playing like Counter-Strike. It doesn't make any sense at all, but they do.
That guy's got another song too, actually, that's pretty catchy.
Yeah. Okay, so we're setting out. What spells we've done a wind walk. We're doing 2 wind walks, right? To get the whole party wind walking.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we need to go over here. And I believe you guys have already done the math on the time frame. You are going 225 miles as the Wind People party flies across Numeria. Blackout, this is going to be a wild ride for you. Probably
Yeehaw.
he has never been partially turned into a air elemental, but you become partially intangible. You can see through yourself and the others. You look like a ghost, and you've seen plenty of wizard shit. You live in a city that wizards run like gangsters. So you've seen lots of people blown up with lightning bolts. You've seen people fly. You know how to turn invisible yourself, I think, and turn into gaseous form. And this is a type of magic that you've not seen much of. The crazy psycho druids around town are so rare and so randomly violent that most people have never really witnessed them do anything beneficial or helpful because they don't consider keeping all the plants in Starfall alive to be very beneficial. But Krokta turns this party into essentially a bunch of gusts of wind, and you guys soar across the landscape at speeds you have never dreamed about. And heights you've never seen this far. You have an immediate fear of sort of falling, but it just doesn't happen. You're familiar with gaseous forms, so you're not too worried about that, but just the distance you're traveling and the elevation off the ground is wholly new. And you feel like you're watching the world just turn underneath you. And to the others, this is routine. This is like a Greyhound bus that they take to Chicago twice a year. It's no big deal. They're all just sort of locked in, grab onto each other, and I think Krokta basically pulls the party, is how it works.
Yeah, I think they just follow my lead.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Come along with me.
And you guys cross 200 miles of Numeria. It's 200 miles that you know very well. East of Starfall, there are a few places where it's green enough and lush enough to have some farms, some agriculture, very protected and patrolled by the Black Sovereign's troops. You cross a wide area of desert that generally people don't go into because there are some sort of wild gearsmen there that are supposedly very dangerous. You don't really see anything when you cross over it. It's just like wide, empty desert to you. And in the distance, you can see sort of a hill off to the right, which the other party will recognize as Algernard's grave. Blackout, yourself, you're just going to see some crumbling fortress walls that look like they're being rebuilt. In the distance, you see scaffolds and maybe even little ant-sized workmen just very distantly repairing a fortress out here on the desert plain. And then you see it. Blackout, you've been to the various junk piles, junkyards, scrap hole in Starfall. Nothing you've ever seen prepares you for a 300-foot tall wall of junk, but that's what you guys are approaching. And it forms sort of a big loop out here just east of the river. And Blackout, you immediately think this is like 10,000 of the biggest junkyard in Starfall, and it looks like someone arranged it all into sort of a perimeter wall from the air. It's very obvious the shape of it. And it just must have taken an unbelievable amount of time to amass all this junk. And there's really nothing else out here. It's a wide open flat spot next to the river. There's just nothing there except for this damn huge wall. And as you approach, you see that on the southwest side, the side you're coming from, there are some stone structures that sort of form a conventional castle gate with the wall of junk extending out to the north and the east from that point. And there's sort of a little keep there. And inside the perimeter of scrap wall from the air from miles away, you can see that there are mountains of junk in there. There are valleys, sort of rolling hills. There's a great sand dune to the north where Tokala picked up Bleeder so many months or years now ago. And Ulfred, you're coming back home. And I don't know if you've ever seen it from the air like this. This might be different for you too as well.
Well, that's a wonderful pile of trash there. It's nothing. The Silvermount has no Starfall has nothing on Scrapwall. Look at the beauty of that. That's a proper city. That is.
Oh man,
Okay.
I wish I had Ozzy Osbourne's "Mama, I'm Coming Home" queued up.
Do 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 do. I had a guitar I'd play for you. I don't got it though.
Yeah.
In the bush, in the bush, in the bush.
A hand in the bush.
Krokta, you're leading the aerial approach here, and you're looking at this massive pile of trash that I don't think Krokta's been to.
Nope.
So, what do we think? How do you want to approach this area?
Is it not? Has it not been retaken? Is it not under enemy control?
Yeah, do I see anything? I mean, I can, before we talk in gaseous form,
You guys
can
can
we,
see
like-
each other, and you can barely see each other in wind form. We established this last time, I think. So, since you can see each other, and you
can
now
sign.
all have sign language, you can converse.
yeah. So I'll just ask the group, is this is a city?
Not
This is where you wanted to go?
exactly. It's not exactly a city. It's more like just territory where a bunch of different tribes, or what used to be a bunch of different tribes, kind of hung out in different areas.
Okay. Yeah, well, at least it's not as polluted as where we just were. Well, where do you guys want me to set us down?
You're gonna want to go all the way across. That's where the Smilers camp was, where we found that the robo zombies.
Is it under enemy control? Should we be wary of lookouts, patrols, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I
Have
think
to
we should
look
be
for 'em, right?
cautious.
Okay.
I'll do a
What did you say,
perception
Krokta?
check.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Nice 3 on your perception check, Josh. You got a total of 21.
That's a 48. You read it wrong.
Oh,
I don't know why you can't see clear as I do.
gotcha. There's a total of 40 from Ulfred. What are we looking for?
Keeping an eye out for any patrols from the Technic League.
Yeah, I'm just looking for any people because I don't know who the enemies are here, but just any creatures moving around.
How close do you want to get into which part of Scrapwall?
What time of day is it? Is it during the afternoon?
I figured it was in the morning, but you guys can tell me more specifically what time you'd like to come here.
We headed out in the morning. How long
Yeah.
would it have taken to get there?
Not too long, I don't think. What else
200
I can think
miles?
of?
What do you go, 60 miles an hour in this spell?
3 and
Something like
Yeah.
that, yeah.
So we're about mid-morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, I mean, I would just ask the group to point me towards the Smiler camp and then start lowering us gradually closer and closer to the ground over there and just
Okay.
keeping my eyes peeled.
There is... I don't remember what rumors you guys have heard about Scrapball being in enemy hands. You have heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you heard that they hauled a lot of equipment out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
if they're holding the place, the only place to hold Scrapball without multiple armies is the main gates. And there is a keep there with, barracks, kitchen, storeroom, a place to escape the dust, latrines. It's one of the more livable parts of Scrapball, since the Lords of Rust area was kind of trashed by you guys. So if you fly close to the gates, you can spy on it, you can see if anybody's guarding it, you can see if anybody's there, but they'd have a chance of seeing you, a very low chance.
I'd say it's worth a peek.
Yeah.
I definitely think Ulfred would want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I
I'm just gonna have, since Croctaw's really steering the ship, and you guys are translucent, and you're very far away, which, as you know, matters a lot in Pathfinder 1. I'm just gonna have Croctaw make the stealth check. Because I don't think Nomcath's incredible stealth skill or Ulfred's incredible, loudness will matter in this circumstance.
Okay, I'm gonna take off my cockroach because I assume I did not windwalk as a cockroach the whole time.
Probably, yeah, as a normal.
Alright.
Okay.
Do I get any bonus for being gas?
Oh, huge, yeah. No, that's essentially a 40.
Okay.
And nothing like see invisible doesn't help with it. It's purely just a mega ranged perception. So I will just, I actually don't think, basically got to do the math on if anybody can actually make that. A natural 20 would not get them there, I don't think. Check on you. You. Whoa. Okay. There's one person outside who could possibly see you guys. Okay.
Nat one?
Well, we'll be taken to the map, so maybe not.
You guys pass over the Scrapwall gates, and you see recognizable Technic League troopers, basically Black Sovereign soldiers assigned to the Technic League, on the walls manning the Silverhawk's favorite cannons. You see some Technic League agents themselves. In the courtyard, you see one of those weird Technic League Borg dudes with its one metallic red eye and its crazy armor, and it is standing in the center of the courtyard with its head literally on a swivel, rotating around, looking at the sky in all directions. And it does not seem to perceive you. But you see that the fortress is manned by the Technic League still.
Okay. Well, what do you guys want to do now?
We can go over it. This is the Silverhawk Fortress you're talking about, right?
Yeah, it's the outer fortress.
Okay. Yeah, we can just go over it.
Mhm.
Just it's not like they can angle those cannons high enough up to do anything.
Ye-
We'll just go over it, and I mean, it's sad that they're manned here, but if we take them out, it's just going to cause trouble.
Okay.
So,
Those of you who are at the Battle of Scrapwall and have the survival skill can roll me a survival check. Blackout, you have your basic directions, your north, south, east, west. You know where you are. You know where Starfall is, where the sun is, and all that stuff. And Namkath, you remember that you need to sort of go north from here, northeast, probably about 5 miles. And then you'll be over Dinvaya's old clockwork temple, which is buried in the southern Junk Hills here. And then another 5 or 6 miles northeast of that, and you should be in Smiler territory.
all right, head this way. We should be able to get there very shortly.
You can see that the Smiler's Den has had a lot of activity around it a while ago. Outside, in the outer area, there used to be just sort of half a dozen gigantic piles of junk. Those have all been torn apart, sifted through. There seemed to be sort of an outer perimeter of trash, unwanted, unusable objects, an inner perimeter of sort of other pieces. There's a pile of armor plates, a pile of broken tech, a pile of broken weapons. Everything has sort of been sorted and sifted through. And as you fly in, you don't see any sentries or posted guards on the perimeter of the entrance. As you know, those of you that were there know that the Smilers built their lair into the side of the scrap wall. It was essentially in a cave made out of junk.
All right, looks like it's safe, but we should probably maintain this form for now. Head down into the cave. So that way, if there's something in there, we can dart out quick.
Alright. It's down there.
Yeah, there's a lab down there. I expect the lab to be pretty ransacked, but there's still the ones we destroyed buried down here somewhere. We can dig them up and, like I said, get parts.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, here's how we do this. Sorry, it's been a while since we've been to this map, but here we go. You guys land and assume normal form.
Do we want to
Yeah.
just keep going around as gas?
Yeah.
No way.
uh,
How am I gonna shoot something if it comes out?
we don't necessarily have to. There shouldn't be anything in here. But just in case, this gives us an option to bug out quickly if we need to.
Does
Yeah,
being
just-
gaseous form keep me from getting attacked?
No.
Depends on the attack, maybe.
Well, if you're
get
defending yourself
stabbed.
from wizards, no.
Yeah, I think I'd rather be physical.
Does
Yeah,
you being physical defend you from getting attacked? I guess you can shoot.
Allows him to retaliate.
Yeah.
I'll make him regret attacking me. I can do that.
Yeah, that's fine. She will release Blackout when we get there.
Okay.
Anyone else want to go with him?
Eh,
I'll
can't
go.
let him go by himself, so yeah, let's go ahead.
Okay.
I'm going.
All right.
You guys land and see a couple of. I mean, there's been a big pile of junk, specifically armor plates and larger objects, pieces of machinery piled up to block the entrance, but you can pretty easily clear it. It looks like it was hastily done and not really meant to keep out anybody determined. You see that there is a sort of tunnel into the junk wall here, just big enough for a person to walk through. Some of you have been in here before.
Hey, I know this place. All right, should we be giving out buffs?
Uh,
Crocodile, you haven't been here before, but you can see from the outer entrance that a large shape is going to be a problem for you. This was made for smallish people.
Oh, even once we get into the bigger room.
Yeah. If you're not medium sized, you're going to have to squeeze through a ton of this.
Okay. Never mind. I just figured I can finally do a different animal. We're not in freaking Poisonville anymore.
I suppose doing buffs wouldn't be a bad idea in case there's something left behind.
All right, I am doing fire. Everyone gets like 10 minutes or no, 20 minutes of fire resist or protection.
Okay. Cool.
I'll do electricity just in case.
Yeah.
Okay. Fire and electricity resistances are up. Nomcath, you going in first? What's our marching order here?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go first.
Okay. You got dark vision, right?
No, I don't.
Well, you quickly see that the outer entrance is very dark, and it gets cave dark about 10 feet in, but then there's flickering light farther around the corner. And you remember that the Smilers had, since they were humans, they needed light. They had some continual lights in here, a strange sort of pinkish red fire that
Yeah.
is enchanted to just burn forever. Doesn't create
Yeah.
any heat. It's not real fire. It's magic, but it does emit light. So that's what's lighting up the tunnel. You see it gets a little wider here. There's sort of an outer chamber. There formerly, no survival check needed, there formerly was furniture, equipment, weapons racks in this room. That's all gone. The junk walls are left, the structure's here, but any accessories or gear from the Smilers is gone.
Hey, this is where the entire party almost got cleaved to death.
Yeah.
Did they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's rough.
Barbarian with cleave. Nasty.
Ooh, yeah. Blackout, this is giving you some real claustrophobia in here. This is just so far outside anything you know, but these guys have been in here before. Ulfred, if anything, he seems sort of awkward and clumsy and sort of stands out in Starfall, and in here he seems oddly comfortable. Knows exactly which way to go. Nomcath seems to know the twists and turns pretty accurately. You guys remember that down this hall to the south, and then you cut east, and then south again, and eventually the big room with all the equipment is the southwest corner of this facility. You do remember that.
Following your lead there, Alfred. You seem to know the place pretty well.
I do that, boyo. This is me home. Well, I'm from here, not here, but here in Scrapwall. You know what I'm saying.
Right, like Starfall's my home.
Hey, Alfred, I might need a light spell here. Looks like some of the lights have gone out.
I cast light on the kitty.
Okay.
I'll just cast it on myself, actually. Screw that.
Yeah.
Shining dwarf.
Okay. You can see that this place has not been inhabited in some time. It is very quiet, and let's see.
I took a wrong turn.
Very quiet and very empty.
Couldn't have happened to a better group. Still.
Well, you guys came in here and killed them all.
Yeah, exactly.
Wasn't the technically? Yeah.
Oh, I
Croctaw,
remember
you
that
found the
place.
torture room. The racks are still here. The torture tools are still here. Those were not taken. And old blood stains adorn the stone and the junk walls here.
I remember this place.
Croctaw, actually give me a perception check.
Uh-oh.
Alright.
Olbrin, you just going with Ulfred and Blackout?
Yeah.
Okay. The four of you come to a room on the left that I don't know if Olbrin's ever seen because this happened before you were rescued by the party. But there is a chamber about 20 foot in diameter to the southeast. It has a huge black burned mark in the ground in the shape of a horned demon with its mouth open, sort of looking terrifying across the floor. And there are 3 ever-burning pyres around the sides of it. Looks like a religious shrine of something. Croctaw, the northeast passage smells like old dusty death. And then it goes to the southeast, but that's past the torture room. You smell old dusty death. Not recent.
What's the circle all about, Alfred?
Oh, you know. Trying to a false god and all that.
Yeah, that the one McGinnis shot, remember?
Oh,
Hellion?
that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
The old god who was slain.
You'll have to explain that one to me later.
Robot fashioned himself, fancied himself a god.
He had actual clerics, so he was part god of some sort.
Nomcath, you get to Marrow's laboratory doors, and they have been shut and locked. You can roll me a disable, or roll me a perception to look for traps, and a disable.
Interesting that they locked this place behind themselves. Let me take a minute here, just a second.
There is a DC 30 to detect magical trap on this door.
Uh-oh. They trapped this thing with some magic.
That's not a great sign.
No. Either you got a dispel on you,
Yep.
Let me see.
you probably
Yeah.
have a better chance getting rid of it without tripping than me, so I'll let you take a shot at it. Well, you're moderately disguised, but I don't think that it works, Oberon.
Oh,
14 on a disguise check, but it doesn't do anything with the door.
shoot. What is the dispel?
Is it just
macro?
dispel? Let me see.
It might be.
DISP?
Yeah,
That's what I'm thinking.
it's either DISPL or DISPEL. You have 2. I don't know why. What you do? Did you ask me for DISPL?
Who knows at this
I
point?
think you asked me for that. That seems like a... You didn't do a slash.
I haven't used this dispel in forever.
Oh man, what's with all this hostility, man? You should have taken option A.
Well,
Let's
you got
just
to
look
use it
for
like every fight in Scar of the Spider, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think DISPL without the E is the macro, Josh, that we set up.
Not going, is it?
Yeah, I think you might have a pop-up or something.
Oh, there
There
we
it
go. I
goes.
did. Yeah.
You did it. Yep. You do not dispel it. It is higher caster level than what you have done. You dispel up to level 10, but it doesn't catch it.
It's higher level than what we've come across so far, Numcath.
You could try again. This is based on your roll,
Right, give
which
another
was a
shot.
6.
D. Okay, what would D?
DISPL. No E. I'm sure you asked me for that. I wouldn't have done that.
You know,
This is one of those
No.
dumb things you asked me for, and I did it, even though it was dumb. Whoa. Why is that rolling so piss? It doesn't make any sense. Okay.
Got a minus 11 on it.
Yeah, that doesn't... I think what we need is to minus 11 off the 35, so you are fine. Okay. You have dispelled that magical trap.
all right, got it this time, Numcath.
Roll me a spellcraft check.
What in the world is happening here? There we go. D.
You dispelled a magical trap based on the suffocation spell.
Oh well, I just saved us from suffocating to death. It's all good. Normal
Yeah,
stuff.
that wouldn't have been good. Let me see what I can do about that lock now. Here we go.
Entering into this room, you guys are at the southeast corner. It's 50 feet north to south and about 110 feet east to west. This was Marrow's lab. There are a ton of, let's see, there's 5 huge bigger than human size metal canisters on the north wall, 5 on the south wall, or 6 on the north and on the south. There are tables in the center, lots of different tools and machinery in here. And you see that most everything has been taken. In fact, I'm hearing that there's still sound effects, and there kind of shouldn't be because nothing in here works anymore. So it's just dead quiet. And it's very dark in here. You only have the lights that you bring with you. There are some old dead bodies there, Nomcath, but they died 6 or 7 months ago, and they were probably about to be torn apart for spare parts, which is what Marrow did in here. All of the notes and books were taken off the desks, all of the tools, all of the herbs, all of the supplies, most of the machinery. All that's left is sort of the metal canister that held the creatures while they were healing or repairing or whatever Marrow did to them in there.
Well, what about the pile of corpses we left behind when we cleared them all out? Can we find where we buried them and dig them up?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
There are some there, and there are also definitely some at the Battle for Scrap Wall mass grave.
We only got about 500 pounds of space, so
Okay. Okay, so you want to dig up some remnants of old rust risen. You guys are pretty sure you killed several in here and just left them, piled them in the corner. Those are gone. So you're
Yeah.
going to have to find one of the ones you killed outside in the junk and hope that the Technic League's
didn't
searchers
see
missed
'em.
it.
All right. Do I need to do like a survival check to track them back down? All right.
Survival check. Blackout can assist you, but Nomcath will be the primary because you remember where the bodies are buried, quite literally.
32
good.
base.
Even with no roll, he can add 2. Yeah, you guys find in the mountains of junk outside, a half of a rust risen. Like you have its upper body sort of metal and metal chest and one metal arm with a bone arm, and it's clearly it was undead. You can see the places where it was sort of bolted back together into a hybrid tech and magical being. And you find a couple severed legs of clearly a rust risen that were undead.
Well, that works. Like I said, at least we can scatter the pieces a few places and hopefully make it look like it was more than just the one we got here.
Okay. Anything
All right.
else we want from this facility?
Nothing else. I mean, I'm sure they picked it clean. I mean, we did a decent job of we got here, but yeah.
Okay. Back outside.
Yep.
Should we kill all that remains?
Again, it's tempting, but I'm afraid that it would end up causing a ruckus and just end up biting us in the ass later.
Could send him, put him off our trail. You know, think there's some insurgents going on here instead of Starfall. You never know.
I mean, you kind of have a point.
Crocodile's really been itching to use that pandemic.
How, how do I
Yeah.
think? How do I think that would play out with the Technic League? Would they send their forces here?
If you, I mean, they definitely sent their forces here recently. It sounds like Crastus did some sort of resource gathering mission where he took a bunch of gearsmen and a bunch of Technic League and a bunch of Black Sovereign soldiers to this place and looted a ton of stuff, brought it back to the city, and then you're not sure exactly where it went. But he left a garrison here of maybe 12 or 15 Technic League soldiers. It's a small garrison. For what reason, you're not sure. You must think that maybe he didn't get everything, or he just doesn't want anybody else getting in there. Looking at this place, it looks like mostly shit and trash, but clearly it's all tech trash. So you think generally the Technic League just wouldn't want anybody else to have it. That's why they left the soldiers here. They're like, we can't just let barbarians have access to this stuff. So if you attack their left behind garrison on their site that they think they've completely cleaned out and is unimportant, it might make them rethink how important Scrapwall is. Or they might think that they just got overwhelmed by a bunch of... It depends on how it looks. They'll definitely come look. They'll definitely come investigate.
Yeah. I mean, we could try to pandemic them, but... And I mean, we run the risk of them seeing me and we have to fight anyway. But I could always try to sneak in and spread the disease. I didn't prepare today. I didn't expect the opportunity, to be honest.
You didn't.
Well, I mean, we finally left that crowded place. And that was kind of my go-to for the city. This place,
God.
only 12 people. It's kind of a waste.
Plus, I mean, I'm sure there's survivors here. Hell, I wasn't here that long, and I could tell everybody who lived in Strawball was a survivor. I doubt they killed everybody. We don't want to. The people who are still here, we don't want to stir up too much trouble for them. We can come back and clean it out when we've cleaned up Starfall.
Well, turn Tokala and the Scrapwall orcs on it.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It would get those let's call them less than stealthy group away from the city. Maybe let things die down a bit.
We'll do it as a one-shot sometime. You guys can make any Scrapwall Witch, Blood Rager, Barbarian, Kineticist, or a couple other things they can be. Druids, Shamans, you want, and we'll go thrash the fuck out of it.
That works.
Okay.
Make Scrapwall great again, says Alfred. Wow.
Now you have 2 one-shots up your sleeve for next time.
Maybe that one will go pretty quick. The scrap witches will make pretty quick work of those fuckers.
Yeah.
Okay. Back across Numeria we go. We have 2 more windwalks.
I mean, Windwalk lasts 8 hours, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. So you can make it back on the first one, but you canceled
Yeah.
it.
But I
No.
think you can go in and out.
Yeah,
Can
you
you?
can go in and out. It just takes like a minute
Oh, really?
to
Okay.
change forms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
That
think
spell's
so.
honestly so good. Okay, you guys resume flying wind ghost form. And you fly back across Numerian.
Ulfred, I'm sure you would have done this before we left it the first time. Is there anything in the clockwork temple that would be helpful or desirable for you?
Dunno, boyo. I got my axe or my hammer from there. I think that would be a question for Dinvaya.
From what you know, Alfred, she knew that she wasn't going to be there for a while, so she sealed it up real good, and her dog is there guarding it. It would recognize you, but not the others. And it's sort
Oh,
of a
what a
twitchy
good boyo.
construct. Yeah. Okay.
I think it's all right. I don't think there's much left there anyways.
Okay.
There is a shop there with tools if Ulfred needed to do any like work or repairs or make something. It would be a useful place to stop. You know that she left functional equipment there. Okay, you guys are back at the big city. Mission accomplished, I think. You got yourself some dead things, which is what you wanted most of all.
Mm-hmm.
Dead, undead things.
Mm-hmm. And you're back at the big city. Anything else you want to do before we pause for the week?
And I think we should get prepped for probably a night assault in the next night or two for a certain captain's hideaway.
Oh yeah, somebody's house is going to get raided, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll spend some time in the Mage's Sanctum studying my ass off.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you guys going to generally rest there to get your teleporter up to speed on safely beaming in and out of there?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I said I was while he was studying, I was spending time scavenging stuff to kind of turn it into another safe house.
Okay. Well, cool. We're all set then. If there's nothing else, we'll pause here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Good times. Really good RP segment there, Tracy and Josh. That was some good stuff.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Way to eavesdrop on it, Enrique. Like a creep.
Yeah, well,
It's
mean-
par for the course.
it's kind of Ulfred and Blackout Skull. I mean, neither of them would let me sleep.
Yeah.
Sounded wrong, but
It is. It just keeps
Anyway.
sounding wronger the more you talk.
She's such a predator.
I'm just trying to be normal here, and yeah, it comes out wrong.
She's not from around here.
Yeah, yeah.
She's still
And-
adjusting.
In her culture, all the women are this aggressive.
Hell yeah. Let's go there.
So,
Death
like
by
the
snoo snoo.
snoo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anna got me a Death by snoo snoo mug and it has She-Hulk screaming on it. It's awesome. All right. See you guys next time.
Sounds
Later.
good.
Yeah.